This rescue dog, named Zip, approached a dying, orphaned foal. However, what unfolded next left everyone perplexed. Excitement filled the Alabama horse farm as they anticipated the imminent arrival of Sandy's foal. The farm owner, Karla Swindle, eagerly looked forward to welcoming the new addition. On this farm, all animals are treated as beloved pets, and Sandy holds a special place as one of Karla's favorites. The birthing process was smooth, and the newborn foal, Ty, exhibited robust health. Karla witnessed the entire birth attentively, rejoicing as Sandy effortlessly brought Ty into the world, and observed the foal's rapid standing. The initial week unfolded harmoniously, with Sandy dutifully tending to Ty, embodying the nurturing role of a new mother. During regular visits to the barn with Zip, her dog, Karla observed Ty exhibiting typical foal behaviors, contentedly eating and behaving as expected. However, the idyllic scenario took a sudden and distressing turn. Despite a routine feeding session, the following morning brought a shocking discovery for Karla and Zip. Sandy, who had been in perfect health, was now experiencing a troubling combination of sweats and uncontrollable shivering. Strikingly, Sandy had not engaged in any strenuous activities that could explain this sudden and alarming deterioration, prompting immediate concern from Karla. The healthy mare they had left was now clearly unwell, introducing a sense of urgency and worry. Little Ty appeared frightened and somewhat disoriented in the quiet corner of the stall, unaware of the distress unfolding with his mother. Urgently, they contacted the vet, who administered medicine. Over the next 2 days, the courageous horse fought against the illness, even tending to her foal when possible. Karla was supportive, providing replacement milk for Ty during critical moments, and they spent countless hours at the stables throughout this challenging period. However, a sad realization set in by the 3rd day. This was a battle they couldn't triumph over. Ty, expressing profound sadness, lay in a corner. In a poignant moment, Zip, the dog, unexpectedly displayed empathy. Despite his usual indifference towards the horses, Zip lay beside Ty, offering solace through gentle licks. Karla, moved by her dog's compassionate gesture, shed tears witnessing the connection between Zip and the foal. The emotional turmoil intensified as Karla examined Sandy, realizing the mare was in significant pain, and the heartbreaking decision to euthanize the horse became an unavoidable reality. Making such decisions is never easy, and when a horse has a newborn just a few days old, the emotional toll is even more profound, considering the potential danger to the foal's life. The foal was relocated to a different stall, accompanied by Zip, a heart-wrenching moment that began a unique bond. Then, on a fateful day, the unexpected occurred. Zip, the devoted dog, approached the foal and, astonishingly, began barking to draw Karla and the other farm workers' attention. Intrigued, Karla investigated, finding Ty acceptable. However, Zip's persistent behavior prompted a more thorough examination, revealing that the foal had a low-grade fever, which escalated in the ensuing hours. The early detection of Ty's illness owed much to the keen instincts of the dog. As an orphan foal, Ty now battled the same ailment that had afflicted his mother, raising the unsettling question of whether he, too, would succumb. Amidst the hope that Ty would prevail, Sandy's rapid deterioration following childbirth intensified the concern. Despite the mother's swift decline, they promptly initiated treatment for the ailing foal. In this challenging period, Zip acted as if Ty were his offspring, becoming integral to the caregiving process. The fear lingered that, in the end, they might shatter Zip's devoted heart. The dog, already grieving the loss of his longtime canine companion a few weeks prior, had been displaying signs of distress, showing little interest in playing and minimal appetite. The foal, however, provided Zip with a newfound sense of purpose. Yet, if the outcome proved unfavorable, the emotional toll on the loyal dog loomed. Unprecedented for Zip, who had never slept outdoors, that night marked a poignant departure from routine. Refusing to leave the ailing Ty's side, Zip chose to spend the night with the orphaned and critically ill foal, exemplifying a profound commitment to his newfound mission. Concerned for the dog's well-being, Karla attempted to coax him indoors, but he remained steadfast. Even the prospect of dinner couldn't lure him inside, prompting Karla to bring the meal to him. As a united front, they exerted tremendous effort to nurse the foal back to health, each harboring a genuine desire for a different outcome than what occurred to his mother. Throughout the night, Karla vigilantly checked on them every few hours, finding some relief around 4 a.m. as the foal exhibited signs of improvement, allowing Karla to succumb to a much-needed sleep. However, her reprieve was short-lived, abruptly disrupted by the resounding bark of the dog outside. To Karla's astonishment, Zip and Tai engaged in playful pasture interactions. While the foal had made remarkable progress, this wasn't the culmination of the dog and foal's narrative. Instead, it signaled the nascent stages of a friendship destined to endure. Engaged in playful interactions, the foal's strength began to surge from that moment onward, thanks to Zip's vigilant care. The dog, determined to ensure the foal's well-being, gently nudged him, encouraging playfulness and vitality. Together, they galloped across the pasture, each escapade contributing to the foal's increased vigor. During moments of rest, when the foal prepared for a nap, Zip would lie beside him, offering comfort through gentle licks, a heartwarming sight captured in videos that brought smiles to many. After transitioning from milk, Tai started feeding from a bucket, marking a significant milestone in his development. The horse flourished, and Karla attributed much of this progress to the unique bond with Zip. Without the dog's companionship, caring for the horse might have proven challenging, jeopardizing survival and the potential for thriving. While their relationship was indeed special, it cast a shadow over what would unfold later, adding an element of fear and the potential for tragedy. Zip devoted much of his time to Tai, a departure from his usual routine of playing with Karla across the farm. In the presence of the foal, Zip assumed roles akin to a father, best friend, and protector. Despite the considerable size difference, Zip's protective instincts often landed him in challenging situations. Sometime later, while Karla and the farmhands diligently worked, a sudden disturbance drew their attention to the pasture in front of Tai's barn. Disturbing noises emanated from the area. Zip's barking, unfamiliar in its intensity, carried an urgency that sent shivers down Karla's spine. It was a mix of anger and fear. Simultaneously, Tai's uncharacteristic moans echoed through the farm, marking a stark departure from the horse's typically quiet demeanor. The situation in the pasture demanded an immediate investigation. A collective rush ensued as everyone hurried to the scene, only to be met with a terrifying sight. The dog, Zip, stood valiantly in front of the horse, bravely shielding him from a giant, aggressive snake that reared up, posing a direct challenge to both animals. The snake's menacing demeanor required cautious steps from the onlookers. Before the humans could react, the serpent launched an attack aimed at Tai, but Zip was resolute in not allowing harm to befall the foal. With a swift and courageous leap, Zip positioned himself between them. While the farm had encountered snakes before, they typically avoided humans and hastily retreated. In cases of proximity and potential danger, the farmhands would capture and relocate the snakes. This confrontation wasn't Zip's first with a snake, and ordinarily, the serpents chose the path of least resistance, opting to retreat rather than engage in a confrontation. Karla, hesitant to harm any animals, had witnessed instances where Zip had successfully dealt with snakes on his own. There was a time when the dog's agility allowed him to dispose of snakes swiftly and in seconds. However, with age catching up, Zip's reactions had slowed, making him more vulnerable to potential dangers. In this particular encounter, his attention seemed divided. Instead of singularly focusing on the snake before him and his strategic moves, he was also monitoring the horse and, perhaps, aware of the approaching humans. This divided attention left Zip less focused than usual when confronting a snake independently. Despite having ample space to retreat, the snake, fueled by anger and aggression, showed no interest in avoiding the confrontation. It appeared determined to engage in a fight, and the onlookers could do little to deter the relentless serpent. As the snake lunged at Ty, Zip leapt into action in a decisive move, intercepting and seizing the serpent. With a mighty shake, Zip flung the snake away from them. Despite being disoriented, the snake maintained its aggressive stance, displaying an unwavering readiness for confrontation. Zip persisted, ultimately throwing the snake far enough to allow the approaching people to intervene safely. Initially agitated by the encounter, Ty required calming down as they sought to locate the snake. Their original intention was to capture and release it in a nearby field. However, upon closer inspection, they realized the snake had sustained severe injuries, rendering any rescue attempt futile. While the farmhands attended to the injured snake, Karla redirected her attention to her loyal dog and the now protected horse. A sinking feeling rippled Karla's heart as she discovered Ty standing over Zip in the pasture, nudging his motionless body. Zip remained unresponsive, and the horse desperately tried encouraging him to stand. Witnessing the heartbreaking scene, Karla couldn't shake the fear that Zip might have sacrificed himself while protecting his adopted companion. Rushing closer, relief washed over Karla as she observed that Zip was still breathing. Although in dire condition, 2 distinct wounds on his leg bore witness to the snake's bites. Time was of the essence. Karla knew she had to transport Zip to the vet urgently. Without hesitation, she carefully lifted the ailing dog and placed him in her nearby car, ensuring they could reach the vet before the venom spread. However, time seemed to resist their efforts to separate Zip from his equine friend. Unaware that the humans were attempting to assist, Ty fiercely clung to his canine companion. The dog, a hero in his own right for the second time in saving Ty's life, exemplified their shared profound bond. Despite acknowledging the strength of this connection, there was no luxury of considering Ty's feelings in those critical moments. Each passing second could determine whether Zip would be saved or lost. A farmhand stepped in to restrain the foal, allowing Karla to drive away without Ty's interference. Upon arriving at the vet's, immediate treatment commenced for Zip. The advantageous aspect of the situation was that the snake had bitten Zip on the leg, where there was more bone and less tissue. Consequently, the venom had a slower penetration rate and didn't spread as rapidly throughout his body. Karla swiftly transported Zip to the vet in mere minutes after the confrontation, increasing his chances of recovery. The vet promptly administered medication and excised damaged tissue to ensure Zip's survival and preserve his leg. Following these crucial interventions, their course of action transitioned into a waiting period. Regular wound cleaning and continuous IV medicine were part of Zip's care regimen, but the dog had to battle for his recovery actively. Maintained in a tranquil state, asleep, and monitored closely, Zip faced an uncertain recovery period. Concurrently, the well-being of other animals weighed on Karla and her team. Ty, once a vibrant horse, displayed signs of unhappiness, refusing to eat, exhibiting depression, and shying away from the usual comfort of human touch. Attempts were made to entice Ty with hand-fed treats like apples and carrots, but he showed no interest. Refusing to venture out of his stall for play, the horse, having witnessed the distressing condition of his friend, likely believed Karla took Zip away because they couldn't save him. Aware that Ty couldn't sustain himself on water alone for an extended period, the hope was to reunite him with Zip before signs of illness manifested, contingent on Zip's recovery. The looming concern was whether Zip's leg wound might succumb to infection and become septic. For a few days, Zip was sick, and there were moments when he stopped breathing. Luckily, the medicine started working slowly, and he could wake up bit by bit. When he finally woke up, Zip was super happy to see Karla, enjoying all the attention he got. His leg wound was still red, but there were no parts that were dying. Instead, the wound seemed to be healing up nicely. It was a relief after a tough time. A wave of immense relief swept through everyone who held affection for the dog. The collective wish lingered that somehow Ty could perceive his friend's condition improvement. However, the horse remained profoundly moody. The moment the dog regained the ability to stand independently, he vehemently resisted being confined in a small indoor enclosure. The unfamiliarity of the veterinary environment coupled with Zip's likely anxiety about Ty, contributed to his restlessness. In a negotiated arrangement, the vet conceded to letting the dog return home, contingent upon the condition that he be kept tranquil and not exert too much strain on his recovering leg. Despite the grogginess ensued by his pain medication, the need for rest took precedence. However, plans for a calm entrance were swiftly abandoned upon arriving at the farm. Karla, intending to stroll and open the door for the dog leisurely, found herself surprised as he leapt out of the window and sprinted eagerly towards the barn. When Ty caught sight of the approaching dog, he initiated a joyous dance and display of excitement. Lowering his head, the horse welcomed the dog, reciprocating with affectionate licks. The onlookers couldn't discern who was more delighted to see the other, the horse or the dog, but the sheer happiness of their reunion moved everyone witnessing the heartwarming moment to tears of joy. Yearning to spend ample time together, Karla, mindful of the vet's advice, ensured that Zip came inside to rest. During the day, she placed his food in the pasture under the comforting shade of trees. In a reversal of roles, it was the horse's turn to lie down with Zip, offering comforting companionship until he fully recovered. This extraordinary friendship had been a source of strength through some of life's most challenging moments. And now, both horse and dog could embark on a healing journey. What are your thoughts on this incredible story? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this story, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. See you next time. Bye for now.